Guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's paper, I'll be answering paper 2, variant 2, February March 2022. This paper was requested. This paper has a separate case study booklet, so make sure you have that because I'll not project it as of now. I'll just answer the questions. Alright. First up, we'll go to question number 1. So, explain 4 methods a business could use to communicate with its employees. Now, this one is straightforward. You can use any method. There are many, like emails, face-to-face meetings, video conferencing, text messages, letters, notices, social media, newsletters, telephone, posters, presentations, etc. But I have only 4 and by explaining it in order to get your 8 marks. My first method here is memo. A memo, any kind of memo, short written message that can be on paper or an email or even a text actually. But a memo is usually on paper, not an email. But it could be any. Our second method is video conferencing. Information could be given to employees at once without the need for response. Now, this method is very helpful because video conferencing could include many employees at once, plus their manager or whoever is delivering the message to them, and they don't need to reply as they will already be there. So it saves time for both employees and the manager. Next, we have method number 3, text messages. A very quick method via mobile phone, which could be referred to more than once, for example, so that the employees could keep track. Because usually verbal tasks or verbal messages aren't always that helpful because you tend to forget. Written messages are always better, in my opinion, and I think many people would think so too. And now this is face-to-face, the verbal one. Face-to-face conversation where the manager and the employee would have a two-way conversation discussing an issue. Now this method is and the employee will be able to comment in the conversation. Unlike video conferencing, usually not all participants are talking, just the person who's hosting the meeting usually. So all of these are great methods. You can have any of the ones I mentioned a while ago. It doesn't really matter as long as you explain each and every one of them. That's it for part A. Let's go for part B. Okay. Consider the following 3 ways the internet could be used to improve the promotion of MH, which is the best way for SADC to choose. Justify your answer. Now, this case study is about a hotel, and the manager or the owner of this is SADC. Make sure to read your case study because it's quite long, and I think it will take time if I read it. But just so you know that he has not that much employees, I think. Hold on. I really forgot, but I know that his business isn't that big. He just owns one hotel. And about 80 rooms, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Just less than 100 rooms. So make sure you have your case study with you in order for you to continue with me. Alright, so again, we are considering 3 ways in the internet that could be used to improve the promotion of MH. Our first way is improving its existing website, advertising, using social media as the second one, and lastly, email special offers to existing customers. Now, what you have to do for this question, you have to basically analyze the pros and the cons of each method. individually, and then here in the recommendation or conclusion, you'll have to state which one you think will work best for MH, the business. Make sure you have to mention stuff about the hotel, whether it's the employees, the manager, Sadiq himself, um, sales, profit, stuff like that. Don't miss those out. So, in your marking scheme, you have a lot of advantages for all of them, I think, because usually some would have, yeah, there's a lot of advantages for all of the methods. I think you could just pick one or like two. That should be enough. But I think one is fine because you'll be writing another disadvantage, which is at least 2 marks each. But as long as you have more than 1 point, or at least 1 point, it's fine. But you should have a solid one and a full explanation, not a missing. Like if you have to show the application and your knowledge in the answer. If you just show one of them, then you lose like a mark or two. It depends. So for the first one, you have to think about improving its existing website. Now this method makes information about the hotel more accessible for potential customers. All right, for existing customers, basically. This one has a disadvantage, obviously, which means that you can't advertise to new customers. So you have to write something like that each time you writing about a point. So to write this in a full answer, this is the full answer. This method makes information about the hotel more accessible for potential customers searching for a hotel and make them more likely to book a room. Okay, this is the advantage. Information is accessible, I think, 1 point, and then to book a room is another point, could be. However, it will increase costs of paying for a specialist to carry out the website improvements. Also, there's another advantage you could say, and the MH won't be able to target new customers. That is another disadvantage. Also, it relies on people finding the website, so you have to search for it. This is another disadvantage. But all in all, though, you can still write the rest of your disadvantage in the recommendation. So I would recommend you not writing everything. I mean, you can't even write everything. There's no space. Like, the limit of space shows you how much you need to write. So don't worry about that. Now next we have advertise using social media. Social media is widely used by customers. This is a very solid point. So it will be of a large scale exposure for HM, the business, to promote their services, i.e. the hotel services. However, it can easily be ignored as there are a lot of adverts on social media. Plus, potential customers may not use social media. Therefore, they wouldn't be updated. Like maybe they're older generation, or maybe they're not in the country, because some of the potential customer could be from another country, and usually not all countries will have the same adverts. It depends on your location sometimes. You don't have to write that in details, but you should understand this when this kind of question comes up in exam. The last point is email special offers to existing customers. Now we know this is helpful, but it's not the best method. For me, I would rank this the last one because it's super time consuming, and for nowadays nobody actually read emails anymore, but we're just gonna go with that. So this method is cheaper to get information to a lot of existing hotel customers, as it will be sent directly to them. However, don't forget, you can use any word same meaning as however, but I like to use however because it's easy. Emails may go into spam and so be ignored. Moreover, it is only sent to existing customers. So targeting new customers won't be possible actually at all. Not just what do we say? Not like for this one, the website, you can still target new customers because you might search in Google and you might find the website by accident or something. But for the email, you will not be able to find it. So that is a downside. Now, for the recommendation, obviously social media is the best way overall, as the advert is more widely spread out, unlike the website, which has to be searched for, while social media appears immediately. Viral marketing means people using social media can quickly spread information than emails and websites. Obviously, emails also you could get the wrong address of your customers, so you might send to someone who is irrelevant. I mean, you could target new customers by sending wrong emails, but still you're missing out your potential customers, so it's not a good idea. This is it for this question number 1. We'll go to question number 2, part A. Okay, explain one advantage and one disadvantage to Sadiq of delegating to his employees, delegating tasks. So Sadiq, in the case study, it shows that he wants to introduce delegation, and also he wants to introduce quality controls. Quality control is, we will touch on that in the part B of question number 2, but for this one we're gonna look for delegation or delegating. So you can have your textbook for this one because there's the answer in your textbook as well, but if you want your marking scheme, it should be fine too. So an advantage for delegating, an obvious advantage, he would have more time for other tasks, because as it's said in the marking scheme, the case study, that Sadiq, he basically does everything, so he doesn't really have anyone helping. I mean, obviously the employees are working, but most tasks he's doing it. He's his own manager and he's also the boss, so it's a lot of work for him. So explaining our advantage over here, this would give him more time to make better decisions and focus on more than one task. Moreover, this improves the success of the hotel. Okay, disadvantage is he could lose some control. Now when you read this, you'll feel like, oh, maybe maybe the employees are outstanding. No, actually it's not. It's the complete opposite. Losing control in this statement means that he might lose control over his business, but not losing control as in controlling the business. So by that, since tasks will be carried out by employees who may not know what needs to be done, therefore resulting in making wrong decisions, or resulting in making mistakes, basically, that leads to wrong decisions. Therefore the business will fall, or profit will fall. So that is a disadvantage. Now part B of this question. Hold on. Okay. Consider the following 3 ways Sadiq could achieve quality service at MH. Which is the most effective way? Justify your answer. Okay, there's 3. Only buying food ingredients from suppliers that guarantee good quality. The room cleaner's maid responsible for checking their own work. Chefs regularly sampling food before it's served to guests. Now, this one, it's the same as number 1. You still have to state a pro and a con of each way, from the 3 listed ways. So buying food from good guarantee good quality food. This ensures the meals are of high quality if the ingredients are of a good standard. This is obviously an advantage. Another advantage could be written is hold on, less likely to have to throw away poor quality food, so these costs are reduced. And also you'll have less complaints from customers as well. But overall, I'm just stating one advantage over here, so that because you can clearly see that I've chosen this in my conclusion, so I'll state more benefits of this, or the same one but in detail, I guess. So what the con for this one is, costs of ingredients are likely to be high, and therefore prices on menu may have to rise in order for them to profit. Basically, in order for them to actually profit, they have to add on to each menu item in the that they're producing, because if they were to keep the same prices, they are gonna lose profit. I mean, they might not always lose profit, but it's mostly the case, especially if the ingredients are really expensive. All right. Our second one is the room cleaners made responsible for checking their work. The first thing you think about is, I think, loyalty in this case, because usually this doesn't take place at all. I've never heard of anyone checking their own work before, but I guess it's possible. So the advantage for this is this removes the need for a supervisor. Number one, obviously, this type of quality. Now, this is a quality assurance, motivates workers as they will feel more trusted. And they will obviously be more loyal to the business. However, this will rise the training costs as the cleaners are required to produce high quality service. Obviously, this has costs as well, because they have to the cleaners have to be well trained in order to supervise their own work or check for their own work. I mean, if they were already good, they wouldn't even have to check for it. But still, in order for the workers to be at that level of proficiency, they have to go with a high cost training. So that is not a very good thing for the business. Chefs regularly sampling food before it serves to guests. This will ensure every meal that is of a consistent standard and no bad meals are served. Okay, it is also a form of illegal control. Okay, now, like you see in the case study, he's planning to introduce these legal control and quality assurance. It is also a form of illegal control, we said that, but however, it is a wasteful of time. The chefs will be making the samples while they could make other meals or the next meal. This is also a waste of food, not just a waste of time, because making an extra portion just for them to taste it, I think it's not reasonable every time. Maybe once in a while, I guess, for supervision, but not always. So in conclusion, having good quality food overall or ingredients is the most important, even if costs are high, as this ensures the meals of good quality and will not be regularly checked. Alright, that's for this one. And then the room cleaning is less important, as supervisors could do that. Like I said, even if it is good, you don't need a supervisor, but at the end you still need someone above them, above the workers, to make sure things are going well around. And a supervisor isn't just for checking work, but they're also there to keep the order of the workforce. So that is that. And then but the poor quality food leads to poor reputation, thus leading to lower sales. You can also mention more cons for the chefs regularly sampling food, but it doesn't matter as long as you have about like 2 to 3 points in this one. It's okay. Okay, that is it for the first part of this question. Sorry, this question paper. Check out for part 2 sooner. I'll be updating for part 2. If you think this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe, because it will make my day. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching.